Hi everybody, it's Agent again, and we're going to be doing our first oil change today, the 600-mile service. Here's what we've got to do that with. We've got our Honda service manual for the 2012 NC700X. I've got 4 quarts of GN 4 Honda oil, 10W30, which is what it takes. I've got a Honda oil filter, got my oil filter wrench, got the what they call the sealing washer. It's basically an old school crush washer. Got my torque wrench to get everything torqued up right, 12mm socket for the drain plug, got an extension to make things a little bit easier in my ratchet, just for taking everything apart. Step 1 is to take out this oil filler cap right here. Dipstick should come along with it, and there we go. Beautiful. I'll put this over here. Alright, I also have my drain pan under there, and we'll go ahead and come over here and get started. Alright, so the drain plug is up under the exhaust pipe. Since I do have the bike at operating temperature, I'm going to go ahead and stay away from the exhaust pipe with my hands as much as possible. And that broke free like that. Alright, I'll take that off and just do it with this guy. I do have the bike up on the center stand to kind of try to keep. Ooh-wee. There we go. Alright, I do have a little bit that kind of splashed up onto the exhaust pipe. I should have taken everybody's suggestion and wrapped it with aluminum foil, but I didn't. So there we go. We've got our oil coming out, and we'll let that drain there for a minute. Alright, while that's going on, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my exhaust pipe. It is hot, so be careful if you do this. I just don't want any oil to stay on there and start smoking when we go down the road. So we'll let it sit and drain for a little while. Alright, so I did decide to put the bike down onto the side stand to let the rest of the oil drain out. It's all drained now, so I'm going to go ahead and torque it to the proper 22 foot-pounds. Alright, there you go. You heard the click. So that's 22 foot-pounds, and that is back in place. So now I think we're going to move over to the filter itself. Alright, so you can't really see it. I have seen videos where they take this lower piece off. I'm going to try it without that. Hopefully it will work. From experience changing oil in other vehicles, when the filter comes off, there's usually a little bit of drain that comes out of the filter. I don't know if it's going to happen on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and put that onto the old filter. I will attach my ratchet and we'll see what happens. I've heard lots of horror stories about how they just pop off just like that. So we're going to make sure we got it on there good and tight and try it again. Yeah, I don't believe that's torqued to spec from the factory. Just like everybody else has said, it's on there pretty good. So, alright, just so you can see what I've done there, that is not part of the original equipment on the motorcycle. That is in fact a screwdriver driven all the way through the oil filter. It's an old trick, but you know, it works most of the time. You really just have to get the oil filter off right now. So I'm going to go ahead and bump it a little bit. Oh my gosh. Come on, Honda. I'm scared I'm going to break my screwdriver because that is insanely tight. I bent my screwdriver. Great. Well, that's nothing the torch and the vise won't fix. But it is kind of a hassle. You see it draining there from the hole, so it's a good thing that I did move that. As they said in the movie Armageddon, I think it was Armageddon, get a bigger screwdriver. Okay. Something tells me that I'm not going to be able to turn this by hand, but hey, I'll give it a shot. Ooh, that's still a little warm. Alright. I was correct in that assumption, however, maybe that's where this guy will come in again. And put it on there. Of course. Of course. That's the way it goes. Get in a hurry. And then you have a mess to clean up. But you know what? It's alright. It's alright. I've had messes to clean up my whole life. So we'll try this again. And I see what the problem is. The oil filter where the screwdriver went through has lip sticking out the side there. So yes, we'll go back to trying it by hand. See if we can't get something in there. Turn it a little bit, a little rest of the way maybe. I had planned on doing this at my buddy's house, and I'm beginning to think he's the one who built the bike, because whenever I got to his house, we went riding this afternoon and had a good time. But whenever I got to his house, I was going to change my oil. I had everything with me, and I said, "Alright, where's your torque wrench at?" And he says, "You know, I've been meaning to get one of those." And it's really funny because he does all his own work on his motorcycle and doesn't have a torque wrench at all. So his idea is turn it till you can't turn it anymore, and then turn it another quarter of a turn. So when he said, "Well, what does it need to be torqued to?" And I said, "Well, one of them needs to be 22 pounds and the other one needs to be 19. And he said, "Well, I can get you close to 20. And I said, we'll just do it this way. What I've done is I have lubed the top with some fresh oil. I've lubed the threads with some fresh oil, and this is just an Andy thing. I've always done this with cars, but I always put a little oil in the filter, so when it comes time to start the engine, it won't be running dry at all. And some people say, oh, you're just wasting your oil because it's going to drain out of your filter when you put it on. Well, I filled the filter half full, and as you can see, didn't spill the first drop. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is wipe this off again. Get my filter wrench here and my torque wrench, get it set, and then we'll tighten that up to the factory specifications. Alright, filter wrench is going on. There we go. Torque wrench, I got to set it to 19 foot-pounds. This looks like a job for the center stand, just to give me a little more clearance. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the stand. Broke, so we got 19 foot-pounds on the oil filter. Yay! For the next part in this show, we're going to be adding the new engine oil. Alright, we'll be adding our engine oil through the funnel here. We know it's going to take at least 3 quarts, so I'm going to go ahead and add 3 whole quarts. Got a clean paper towel, and I have wiped this off. And it says to put it in there, but don't screw it down. And check it. We are right on the nose. So double check it again. Yeah, right there at it. So there you have it, folks. First oil change on my new Honda. Good night, neighbors.